Hi guys, it's me Afolake here and this is Flookiesden. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. Where have you been? If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel because we talk about immigrants' lifestyle. We talk about everything that makes immigrant settlement easy for new immigrants. We are all immigrants and we have come to this land to prosper. But we have found out that many immigrants are broke, and why are they broke? So we're going to be talking about some few things that have actually pushed immigrants into that broke state, and most people are not talking about these things, but we need to know ahead of time so we don't get into those broke states as we move here as immigrants. So keep watching guys, and I will be with you in a minute. Are immigrants actually broke? The way the system works here in Canada sometimes is alien to us as immigrants. We struggle here as immigrants to be able to understand how the system works. The way some things run here are totally different from how it works in our home country. And yes, I get it. You moved away from your country for a better life here, but you're not finding it easy. Some things are really tough. Things are not the way they seem. Things are not looking like you expect. Yes, that is the Canada life for you. But the main focus for today's video is, why are immigrants becoming broke by the day? Number one reason I will put to this is that the way the system works, especially regarding mortgage and finance, it's totally different. From Nigeria, where I come from, you don't spend what you don't have. We don't build houses or wake up in 1 month and by the next month or 2 months after, we are owning houses that we are not fully paid for it. The system here encourages debt. It encourages you to, work in credit because you are building history. And that's so different from where we are coming from. It's alien to us, and this system drives a lot of immigrants crazy. They try to understand the system. Sometimes immigrants come in and say, I don't want credit card. I don't want credit. I don't want debt. But the system has worked in such a way that you have to live in credit. You have to own a credit card. You have to live in debt for you to be able to do some things like buying a mortgage, for instance. If you must own a house, you can't have $600,000 to pay for the mortgage at once. If you wait for that, you probably will be waiting for 10 years or even more for you to keep this money in your account. And then the banks don't encourage you to put that money down. They want to make money off you. There's interest on those loans. Those are where the financial institutions make their money. So you and I are put in debt for 25 years, especially for the mortgage. So any immigrant here is already in debt when you buy a house. So that is the first debt that we probably walked in with our eyes open into it. Most of us can't really do anything about this, and from one house we are moving to house two, moving into one debt into another debt, or maybe just closing out on one house and then moving into the other. But the bottom line for us is that we know that this is an investment. Buying a house is a financial decision. It's an investment that would last you so long. It's like building equity for yourself, which is very important. But what are the other kind of debts that we go into that we shouldn't be going into? One is like us having social media influence. Sometimes we see influencers on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and you want to live the part. Some of them even say they've moved from one house to the other. They bought houses. you probably don't know whether they sold the old house to be able to bring equity into the next house, or they paid off part of the house and then they move from that house to live into the new house, which helps them in the mortgage process. Because when you buy a second home and you rent it out, you are going to be putting more equity down for that second home. So you see immigrants or homeowners move into the second home and then let out the first one, which makes more financial sense. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here. But the bottom line is, when you see immigrants or you see people on social media, influencers living the part, you don't know how much debt they have gone into. You see the large life that they live, the houses that they have, the lifestyle they live, the kind of cars they drive, you know, just the life, the clothing they wear. You just feel this is the life. When I move abroad, I will be living this part. Oh no, that is not the real life, guys. That is not the real life. Some of these things are bought on credit. Some of these things are bought and returned just for the social media glam. We've said this a couple of times. Because, you know, we have a return policy here. People buy things and they return. Yes, you can buy things and return. If you don't like it, you have 7 days, you know, whatever days for you to return these items. And you see people return items when they buy them. Some have used them if they probably don't take off the tags and they return these things. So there are some things that you don't know that happen here. So don't copy people. And when you come here and you begin to live those life and you feel you can live on a credit because you want to live that part, then you are going into debt more and more. Another thing that immigrants must be conversant or take caution about is the credit card. The credit card, as much as it's good for you to build your credit history, is also there to enslave you and put you into more debt. Because I don't know how the financial institutions know that there's a newbie in town. As soon as you come, you already registered your SIN. Somehow, you know, these things are interwired and you begin to see some credit cards sent to your doorstep, or the banks sending you mails or calling you to come and take credit cards. Bank A wants you to take a credit card. Bank B wants you to take a credit card. Bank C, yes, with no history, they give you a minimum. And as you use your credit card and you are not indebted to the bank, they begin to increase your credit limit and sending you to early grave, small. But you must be wise. It's good to increase your credit limit. It's good because it helps your portfolio, your credit history. It helps you when you approach the bank for XYZ. But if you are not using it with sense, correct sense, you will spend all your credit card. You will not be able to pay back, and then you will be living in debt. So immigrants that feel this is free money, they spend this money and unknowingly and gradually begin to trickle into the debt frame. This is not good for you. And that is why you must make up your mind. You must have good financial sense in such a way that even if you are going to go into credit, there are a line of credits for you that you can use as business owner. You can use that to scale your business, but it must be bringing you return whereby you should be able to pay back this money over a period of time. Sometimes for you to scale, you need loans. Let's say it as it is. You need loans to scale. But if you take loans and you decide to send this money to your home country to start building house, like some people will do, then they are digging your early grave. You feel that, okay, when you build those houses, you begin to get rent from there, and then you exchange it back to your currency to pay these debts. Look at the exchange rate to your local currency. It will pay you off to change money. You have more money to spend there. But if you convert it back to your local currency in Canadian dollars, for instance, it becomes very small. So how do you want to pay this money back? And don't forget that when you begin to send money home to build houses and people see you that, this person has arrived, they won't know you are spending borrowed funds. Even for those that have bought homes here, or for those of us that have bought homes here, some people feel the reality is that you dropped 100%. We did not drop 100% though. You have options of how your mortgage works. And you can decide to pay 10%. You can decide to co-own it with the government by paying 5% as first-time home buyers, and the government matches up with 5% from, just imagine you are buying a house of maybe 400,000 and you're paying 5%, the government is matching with 5%. Or you even have 10% you are paying. And that's not all the money you pay. And if you put down like over 20%, you'll be saving up on your mortgage insurance, which is also money saved, right? But if you don't have that much, you probably will be putting down 10%, 15% or less. And that is not all. The rest, it is borrowed funds and it is money from the bank. So when you buy a house and you see us jubilating, hey, praise God, we have bought homes. You should be praying for us to be able to pay this money, because yes, we are happy we bought homes, but we are in debt because we are going to be paying this mortgage over a period of over 20 years. And sometimes the mortgage contracts that we all go into, some of them are like the ones that it locks your payments, like your, of course, your interest rates for like 5 years. Some do flexible, which gets them into more trouble, whereby the flexible interest payments makes your monthly payment to fluctuate. If you're paying every month or you're paying bi-weekly, it depends on the prevailing rates, and you probably will pay 3,000 this month. The next month is going to 3,200 because interest rate has gone up, or maybe it's the prime rates of it, that part of it that has gone up. So we need to be careful, and that's not to mean that it's not a good thing to buy a house, right? But the thing is, mortgage also indebts us, but it's a good mortgage, okay? It's a good mortgage, which you must, or if you're working, you're employed, you should be able to work towards paying it. And that's why it's good to have a bulk of the money ahead, maybe 20% and above, so that you can save yourself or have your monthly payment or your bi-weekly payment not as high as, you know, much. Impulse buying is also one thing. Chai. Some people, oju kokoro is in their eye, you know, like they say eye that's let me translate it to English, that you see something in somebody, you want to have it. You like something somewhere, you want to have it. It's good to admire, it's good to like, or, you know, I also like when I see something, oh, I like this is good. But is it in your capacity to buy or to fund it? Do you have resources for it? And that you are not taking from your credit card, or even if you take from your credit card, is in your plan, your financial plan, to say, okay, you spoil yourself. It's good to buy things for yourself. It's good. Please spoil yourself. And I always am an advocate that, look, when you work, as you distribute these portions of income, which you must have in such a way that there's a percentage for all your expenses, you know, your rents, your expenses, take the bulk of it. And then you must save some money. You must have monies that you pay for your tithes. You must have, you know, like put them together in groups, like the money for your tithes, the money for that you give for gifts, the money that you also, you must pay yourself. You must pay yourself, especially if you're also doing business, right? There must be a percentage of it that you pay yourself and which you tithe on, or you know that this is my money, this is what I can spend. Not like you feel that you've made like 10,000 from a business and you feel all the 10,000 your own. It's not your money. You are in business and these monies must roll over. So we must understand these things and know how to be able to apportion money to ourselves, so you know how much you are using to spoil yourself. If you have to spoil yourself, which is not, I won't advise you to do that. Every month you can decide to have a portion and save up for those spoiled days, whereby you probably want to do like a massage if your company does not give you those health spending monies, or you want to go on the spa, you want to go to the spa, you want to have pedicure, manicure. If that's something you want to do monthly, you must save up for it. Or if it's something that you want to buy a handbag for like a lady, or you want to buy clothing, you want to do this, you want to do that, there must be a portion of it that you have saved up that can help you. Even if you don't have it, or at least you've saved some portion, and then the others can be like a variable. But please don't spend what you don't have. Being too impulse in your spending can create debts for you, can get you into more debt, and that you must guide against. Everything that enter your eye should not be what you want to have. Learn to say no, you don't want. Even if you have, somebody invites you, like in this part of the world, Canada, that somebody say, let's go for drinks, let's go for lunch, let's go for dinner. Don't forget that you are paying from your pocket too. The person that invited you is not going to pay for you. It's not like Nigeria, whereby the person that invited you for party is the one catering for you. You are paying from your pocket for your own portion of your meal. So if you don't have it as part of your budget, just stylishly just decline that outing and save yourself. Otherwise, you go and enjoy and come back and start crying that you have dipped your money by $50 or $100. Who sent you? You sent yourself. So we must guard against this. We must, please don't live above your means. Don't live above your means. We should be able to, according to our income, decipher how much we should be spending on X, Y, and Z. And that will help us to be debt-free. I'm not saying we'll be totally debt-free, because if you have mortgage, you can't be debt-free. Then if you also have to fit up your house, you can't be debt-free, because all these things go, hand in hand. But the bottom line is that you must create streams that will make more money for you. It's like building your basement. If you spend money, or you took a loan to build your basement, or you spent from your line of credit, or you have money saved up that you use for your basement, that will generate income for you, like you are renting it out or you are using it for Airbnb. That's an income generating stream. That's a good investment. Over time you will pay it off. You might not be able to pay it off once, because those monthly income from those rentals will not pay that mortgage, will not pay off that loan that you took to build your basement, for instance. So I'm using that as an example for you to understand what kind of debt you should go into and what kind of debt you shouldn't go into. Debt that you are not getting returns, or that are not bringing money for you to pay it off over time, is a bad debt. Don't enter inside. Debt that you will enjoy. The way things are, you buy some things and you just feel good. I bought it, and then the next time again you are probably thrifting those things because you don't need them. The pleasure of you having that thing has weared out. Please don't try it. I usually advise people that when you want to buy something, especially on those apps that have like Temu, Shein, Amazon, you're scrolling, you see some things on social media and like, this thing is good, it will make life easy for me. Haven't you been living the life before that thing? But if you must have it, put it in your cart and go and sleep for 1 week. Don't even go there for 1 week. Don't do impulse buying. Don't go there for 1 week. See if your life still depends on that thing. When you come back in 1 week, that's if you remember safe. When you come back in 1 week or 2 weeks and you look at it, you now start asking yourself on the cart, do you really need this thing? That way you have saved yourself from spending that money. You have saved yourself from spending the money, because if you have spent it at that time, it becomes like, yes, I needed it, but did you really need it? So that helps you to be able to clear your head from that impulse buying, that do I really need this thing? And then at that experience of 1 week or 2 weeks, you come back and you look in your cart and you're asking yourself, do I need it? Then you just say, delete, delete, delete. You begin to remove it from your cart because you really don't need it. You saved it, you had lived life. Over the time your head has cleared, your bank account has showed you the real picture that, girl, don't spend this money, or guy, this is not needful. Then you move on and you are living life. So if we have this practice, it will help us. Or it's like also going back to your financial budgeting and say, did I have budget for this? Do I really need this? It will make things easy for me, but do I really need it? And that helps you. And another way also to be able to save money is that, when this things impulse buying comes to you, and maybe after 1 week you feel, I really didn't need these things, I really didn't need to buy these things. You know what? That money that you would have spent on useless things, as far as I'm concerned, take that money and add it to your savings account, where you save money that you won't touch. That helps you to build up more savings, because if you have spent it on that dress, on that water bottle, on that whatever it is at that point that was impulse, the vibe of that impulse or that item will wear out. After you have used it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, you are like, chai, who sent me to buy this thing? No, I shouldn't have bought it though. But when that reality comes in, you would have saved that money, remove it from your account, still remove that money and put it in your savings, because you would have spent it impulsively, foolishly anyway. So that way you save money. So it helps you to run away from debt. It helps you to stay away from debt. And then you are jealously guiding good debt versus bad debt, so that you are not drowning in debt. If you are drowning in debt, in bad debt, is as good as being dead. But if you have a good debt that it's over the time is going to profit you, give you more profit, then that is a better way to go into debt. So immigrants, please, I know some things does not make sense, but some things are even going to be more real to us when we move here, because aside with that credit card system, we don't need more than 1 or 2 at the most. Because if you are probably going to do mortgage, yes, they will tell you that helps you to build credit, and they would have seen that, okay, you are using this, you are using that. But in the long run, if you have done one house, if you don't need 2 credit cards, please go and cut it. Tell them that thank you for coming, thank you, I don't need it again. I've used it, I've gotten what I need it for. Thank you. I'll come back tomorrow if I need it. So that you can save yourself, because the more you have it, the more the urge to spend. And are you always, this impulse buying thing, I'm stressing on it because it's what is killing most people. And they just want to splurge, they want to go on. Even that's why you see these Canadians, when they are traveling, when they have vacations, they plan ahead. You see them planning. Me that have Airbnb, I understand, I see. People that are coming for summer, they've already started booking this thing since January. They've booked because they've planned ahead. And if they were traveling out of country or coming out of country, they booked their tickets ahead of time. This is planning. It's not impulse. It's not like you wake up. We are used to waking up. We like big money, because where we come from, we get big bonuses. We do business, we see money on the spot. Sometimes we wake up and we just do 1 gig and the thing gives us big money, and then we decide to use the money to plan for vacation. They don't do that here. That's not how it's meant to be done. You need to save this money. At least clear your head from that big money first, and let your correct sense come back to you, so you now begin to know. Some do a susu ajo, what they call, you put money aside every month to be able to plan for that vacation. Let's inculcate this habit in ourselves so that we can run away from debt. And that way we can go on a vacation and come back. It's not like we have spent money we did not have, or we have used money that we don't have. That saves us all the hassle, because I remember those times. So we go on vacation and we come back and our account is 0, because from our vacation allowance to our even the salary for that month, whatever bonus we have put everything together, bam, and we now go as if tomorrow no day. We come back to ground 0. That's not life. You can't even live that life here in Canada, because here no father, no mother, no borrower, no uncle, nobody is looking your side. You are dying in that silence by yourself. So you must change that mentality of how you spend money, so that you are debt free. You are not, or don't let me say debt free, you are not in a bad debt. So that helps you in the way that you run your finances in Canada. So I hope this helps someone. There's still so much I want to share, but I don't want this video to be too long. But if this has helped you, please put in the comment section, how have you been able to stay afloat of debt? If you are in one good or bad debt, we all will learn. Or if you have no debt at all, how you've been able to sustain yourself to remain debt free. And if you are entering debt small, some things are entering your eye. What have you picked from this video that will help you change your mentality of how you run your finance, so you don't run more and more into debt moving forward? Thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, a like. This helps the algorithm to be able to share this video to more people. And put your comment in the comment section. I want to read your comments. And I hope this helps and encourages someone that is drowning at this time. See you on another vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.